What is going on, guys? Nick here, back with another video. The Fed finally did it. They announced a 75 basis point increase to interest rates, and hallelujah. I think a lot of people like myself were just a little bit scared that the Fed was going to kind of continue this lackluster 50 basis point increase, and we'll kind of see how the economy reacts to it. And they showed us today that they're very serious, that they're reacting strongly to the last CPI report, which did come in a little bit higher. And when I say a little bit, I do actually agree with them that it was just a little bit higher. I don't think that it's quite as insane as some people are kind of making it seem like it's just, oh my God, it's an absolute disaster. It was a little bit higher, let's be honest, but it wasn't anything disastrous. And it also seems like a lot of that has to do with crude prices continuing to rise. If I had to guess, that's probably driving a lot of the costs at this point still. I think that this really seals the deal that either, obviously it wasn't last month, but last month, this month, or next month is probably about the peak of inflation. If this was a chart we're looking at, I don't know where exactly the tippy top is, but it's somewhere around this area that we're in right now. I find it hard to believe that inflation continues to rise very significantly past this point, which is great. The question, though, is what does this mean for the stock market? And that's probably why a lot of people follow this channel. So I think a lot of that really depends on what actually happens to the economy. So, but the Fed has talked about the soft landing, and I still find it hard to believe that we're going to have a soft landing. While, the market reacted pretty positively to a 75 basis point increase, that maybe the Fed's, really starting to take some real serious action to kind of get this under control, this isn't going to stop inflation with this single increase. It's going to take more months of increases for inflation to come back down to normal levels, back to the 2% that we used to see. We're starting to see some economic pain. I saw an article earlier today that, let me see, it said U.S. retail sales declined in May. And for a lot of people who sell consumer good products, that's not real good for their livelihood, especially because we're still kind of in the middle of these interest rate hike increases. And that's not going to stop, at least this month. It's going to continue for the next couple of months. So what we're going to end up seeing, and this is what we saw if you go back to Paul Volcker at the end of the 70s and the 80s, is that there's going to be a lot of economic pain, and we're going to have to continue to raise interest rates because we get to this weird spot where inflation's coming down, we're, experiencing economic issues, but inflation isn't down as low as we need it to be. So for it to continue to fall, we need to continue to raise the interest rates. And that puts obviously pressure on stocks. I find it hard to believe that with 3.6% unemployment that the Fed is going to somehow be able to go through this and only see unemployment rise to their estimate of only 4.1%. That seems a little low, to be honest. Look, I'm not an economist, but I kind of expect somewhere between like 5 to 6% unemployment coming out of this, but we'll have to see how things go. Maybe that's too pessimistic, but we'll have to see. Looking at the overall market, though, it does seem, again, like I said earlier this week, there are a ton of great deals out there, and I'd like to make a video either sometime later this week or maybe sometime next week, just kind of going through my watch list and showing you guys some of the great deals that I think is out there. I just want to clean it up and make sure that all my growth rates are still accurate and they're still kind of what I see for those companies, so that's why I haven't made it yet. Also, these videos are a little bit different formats where I'm just kind of talking to you guys. I haven't gone through and scripted everything. I literally have like 3 things written on a notepad that I wanted to talk about in this video. So if you guys like this kind of content, it seemed like the one that I put out earlier this week got some positive response. Let me know in the comments. I would really like to hear from you guys what you guys think about this style of video, basically, where I'm just talking to the camera, unscripted, not really any jump cuts. Also, if you haven't seen it, I honestly think that it was one of the better videos that I made. I did a video about stagflation and inflation a couple months ago. Unfortunately, the video just never really took off. I don't think I did a good job on the title and thumbnail, unfortunately, and that's probably why it didn't really work quite as well. I also think the timing was probably off. If I released that today, it might do a little bit better. But I think it was one of my best videos that I did, so if you guys should absolutely check it out. It took me a ton of research to kind of put it all together for you guys. I'll put it in the card. It'll be right here. And as always, thanks for watching.